Hey, everybody. This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. Today, we're going to be talking about Predator Rochelle and her next grift that she has been cultivating and about to exploit. So, recently in the news, we have seen a lot about Nigeria and how Meghan's 43%, and rumors that Meghan will be going to Africa with her mother to talk about her fake Nigerian roots. And we're going to look at why all of a sudden Nigeria has been such a hot topic and in focus for the Sussexes. Let's get into this. This week, Archwell Foundation, aka Archwell Public Charity, had attached itself to a worthy cause called the Genco Foundation. Now, the Genco Foundation provides critical healthcare and education services in, you guessed it, Nigeria. And apparently, Archwell's staff, not Meghan and Harry, the people that they have contracted or hired as slaves, actually went to help fill backpacks with supplies and menstrual products. The Archwell Public Charities support or packing of the backpacks, there's no mention of if they donated these backpacks or if they gave any type of donation to this foundation aside from having their people go and for an hour or two, fill up some backpacks to send over to Nigeria. But what this program is doing is that it's giving 2,500 girls in the region that GeneCo serves supporting health and well-being of girls, in which they provided backpacks with supplies and menstrual supplies, whether it be maxi pads, tampons, things for their personal health, which I think is a good cause. But did Archwell really contribute anything aside from showing up for an hour to stuff some backpacks? Probably not. Now, I'm raising a red flag on this organization because we see Oprah attached to it, as well as Benedict Cumberbatch. Now, for those that don't know, it's rumored that his wife, Sophie Hunter, was allegedly a high end escort that was hanging in the circles of the likes of Sleazy E and the woman that's in jail at the moment, Heidi, aka Ghislaine. What really bothers me about this is that this is an organization focused on young females. And what we know about what's coming out of Hollywood and the exploitation as well as the trafficking does concern me that this organization has people like Oprah Winfrey who have used vulnerable people to exploit for her personal gain. This is no different to what Meghan Markle has done, but what's concerning here is her ties to various PDF files. And never once has she condemned these men or her relationships that she held with them. Let's all not forget what happened at her school in Africa and the abuse that took place there. Now, this is all just food for thought. It's just me thinking out loud and critically analyzing the connections between the behaviors as well as the associations and the reasons, or at least deducing to the reasons as to why this is happening. And the reason why I continue to keep doing this is because in my gut, I believe that Meghan and Harry are dangerous and should not be given any more power than they already have. We have seen many times over now that Meghan and Harry have used vulnerable people in order to manipulate and exploit for their personal gain. Whether the Nigerians know it or not, they are being used and they are being exploited by Meghan Markle. This is 1000% political as well financial. So I got to thinking about this over the last couple days as to why all of a sudden Meghan has such a hardcore focus on Nigeria. And it suddenly clicked when I saw this post from a member in the St. Meghan Markle community. Shout out to Want to Yield for screen grabbing this before it was swiftly pulled down. So one of the main Sussex Squad psychos had posted this, and it says, Harry and Meghan's Archwell Foundation public charity, is expanding its advocacy for Afghan refugees through a new partnership with Mina's List. Previously, the couple visited Liberty Village, a transition hub for 11,000 refugees, and donated to 4 charities focused on resettling Afghan families. Mina's list, and this is the post that they removed swiftly. It says on September 12th, Mina's List launched our first ever political empowerment program in the US in partnership with Archwell Foundation. Okay, you notice the words there. First ever political empowerment program. What the F are Afghan refugees in the United States who are not citizens launching a political program? What is going on here? And secondly, Archwell is a public charity. So everything that they have been doing is not to benefit the community, but really has been for political purposes, which is against the protocol for being considered and qualified as a 501(c) charity to receive all these wonderful tax benefits. Again, Archwell Public Charity needs to be investigated by the IRS. We need to keep screaming and reporting this to the IRS. So if you're on X, formerly known as Twitter, please shoot out a message to the IRS telling them that they need to investigate Archwell Public Charity for fraud. This couple's 501(c) status should be revoked. Anyhow, I digress. Let's talk about Mina's List for a second. So swiftly, Mina's List had pulled down this tweet. So not sure what happened there. However, soon after, we get the news about this Genco partnership. Perhaps maybe this was to deflect attention away, as well as deflect from the negative publicity that they have been getting about the Harlem School NDA release. It is certainly clear that Mina's List made the mistake of announcing that because I am sure Archwell had told them to pull it down. And now they're trying to cover this all up. But we're gonna blow this up right now. I know many people are going to disagree with me when I say this because you still think that Meghan and Harry don't have any power and that people don't take them seriously. But I believe that we are being lied to once again. It is clear as day that these two are still involved with the monarchy. And the reason why I say that is because it is in black and white on the royal website. It says right here, they are balancing their time between the United Kingdom and North America, continuing to honor their duty to the king, the Commonwealth, and their patronages. Now, many of you will say, well, they haven't gotten around to updating the website. Yes, they did. They took the time to switch this over from Her Majesty the Queen now to the King. And clear as day, they are balancing their time between the United Kingdom and the US. Half in, half out. And if we all think that, nah, they're completely frozen out, this right here is evidence that they're not. Nothing that this family does is on purpose. And I can't imagine that they have people that are incompetent to go ahead and write something like this without the acknowledgement of the royal family. And the reason why I bring this up is to remind everybody again of the commitment and tight relationship that this family has with not only the United Nations, but as well as the World Economic Forum. So bringing this back home, full circle, is now looking at Mina's List. And guess what? Mina's List is conveniently tied and aligned closely with the United Nations. I hate to say it, but all of this to me is marketing bullshit. The mission of Mina's List is it seeks to build just and peaceful societies by advancing women's political leadership and participation globally. We are committed to realizing women's equal and substantive representation in national governments around the world. How many want to bet that the UN is involved with this? Let's take a look at who runs the show here at Mina's List. About Us. Mina's List works collaboratively with regional women's rights organizations and legislators to build the skills of aspiring women political leaders through workshops and mentorship. And it says here, Tanya Henderson, the founder and president, and she's here in the United States. Tanya Henderson is an international human rights lawyer whose work has focused on women's rights and empowerment, peace and security, and women's political participation through U.S. policy, international multilateral agencies, civil society, and coalition building among global women political leaders. When you look further down, it says Tanya was involved in the development of the U.S. National Action Plan on Women, Peace, and Security, U.S. NAP, introduced by President Obama through executive order in December 2011. Now, for more information as to why this is suspect that Obama has been mentioned here, I'm going to suggest that both these videos be revisited. One from the DUI Guy, in which he had Claire Best on his show talking about how Obama used social media as well as this female movement in order to promote war. Then I would suggest look at the video, if you haven't, that I did a few months ago regarding how all these people are connected and questioning whether or not Meghan and Harry have been these political pawns. Now, getting back to this, if you look at the executive director, Teresa Kazol, you scroll down and you see that she managed the feminist UN campaign. And if you go to the very end of this paragraph, it says that Teresa is a frequent contributor to The Hill and has also published in Ms. Magazine. Who owns Ms. Magazine? Oh, that's right, Meghan's BFF, Glow Steinem. You know, the woman who worked for the CIA back in the day. Oh, and you want to know the most notable board of advisor that they have is M. Chowdhury. He's the former UN under the Secretary General. So if you can't get more tied into the United Nations as well as the WEF, then having people on the board advising, pushing this agenda. And here's another organization that appears to be like Archwell, in which they received their 501(c) status in 2020, filed for taxes in 2020, claiming that gross receipts did not go greater than $50,000. But there's no tax filing on record for 2021 or 2022. So riddle me this, what is going on here? It's quite interesting that under the Biden administration of hiring 87,000 more IRS people to go hunt down the middle class for money, they have yet to update their database to post even Archwell's 2021 tax return. So, what is going on, IRS? How are Americans not sick and tired of seeing our money go to waste? But circling back to Meghan's focus on Nigeria, it just so happens that Mina's List, one of their core projects, is the Nigeria Project. What is the Nigeria Project, you might ask? Mina's List Nigeria Project. In partnership with the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, Nigeria, and UN Women, Nigeria, Mina's List supported women's increased political representation in Nigeria's 2019 general elections. The program provided capacity building campaign trainings and cutting edge WIN app technology to 16 female candidates across 8 Nigerian states and from 11 different political parties. My scam radar has perked up when I saw this. So, this major project of Mina's Lists, in conjunction with the 2 Afghan projects, is providing access to political resources. But what this app does in this technology development is twofold. Not only is it providing resources for these candidates, but it's also enabling a way to facilitate payment from donations and track and have data collected. Anything that involves the UN and tracking data and involvement with these people from the WEF, which we all know that they are pushing to corral people into digital banking and monitoring, tracking people via these social credit scores and so forth. I believe that they're using Nigeria at this moment because not only are these people vulnerable, but also because there's a lot of money to be made from the country of Nigeria, as well as exploitation of the people. So now it's all making sense as to why Meghan and Harry, specifically Meghan, is so interested now in focusing on Nigeria. Let's not forget that last year, Harry went to speak at the UN for Nelson Mandela Day. And while he did not speak to a full auditorium, they were there definitely to participate in the discussions around Africa. You have to realize that what is not being said in the media is what is really going on. All this stuff that they're throwing out to deflect away attention from what they're actually up to is what we should be focused on. Now, I want you to listen to what the president of Nigeria had to say this year in his UN speech.
African nations will fight climate change, but must do so on fair and just terms. To achieve the need popular consensus, this campaign must accord with overall economic efforts. In Nigeria, we shall build political consensus by highlighting remedial actions which also promote economic good. Projects such as Green Wall to stop desert encroachment, halting the destruction of our forests by mass production and distribution of gas burning stoves, and providing employment in local water management and irrigation projects are examples of efforts that equally advance both economic and climate change objectives. Continental efforts regarding climate change will register important victories if established economies were more forthcoming with public and private sector investment for African preferred initiatives.
Who wants to bet that this psycho lunatic wants a piece of that Nigerian multi-billion-dollar pie that's going on right now? I have no doubts in my mind that this woman wants to R-word the country of Nigeria and pillage it for anything that she can get to build herself up in riches. There's only one reason why Meghan is so interested in Nigeria, and it's not to help these people, but to profit off of them. That's just my opinion. Oh, and we must not forget Ian Sexbot, one of the main supporters of Meghan and the Sussex Squad, had been circulating trying to raise money to build some type of water drill or something, a well, in Nigeria. Now, do we know if that well ever was built? Who knows? But the Sussex Squad had been given lots of money to contribute towards that. I wonder what happened to that project. Or was that even a project at all? I smell something extremely fishy around that. Also, we shall not forget that back in 2021, Duchess of Sussex had pointed this out initially when Meghan and Harry went to the UN to talk about these jabs that I don't believe either of them had taken. There was a comment made about tech transfers and immediately was pulled down. Well, Duchess of Sussex did some digging in on the trademark application for Archwell Foundation. Back then, Duchess of Sussex pointed out how odd it was that they were filing for trademark on the basic goods and services such as books, t-shirts, empowerment crap, but then found it odd that there was a filing for this international class, which included highly sophisticated digital devices and software and hardware. And, we had discussed and talked about and said, yeah, that was odd. Why would Archwell Foundation, who is really a social impact bullshit foundation, be doing this? Well, it's now making more sense as we are looking at Mina's list and seeing that there's a digital app that they've created. I don't doubt for one second that Megan's greedy little hands wants to be in on this central banking, blockchain, digital currency, social credit enslavement that the WEF, along with the UN, have been promoting. Neither of these organizations were government bodies that have been elected, and I reemphasize that we need to stand up and say, no, we do not comply, and call out these people like Meghan Markle for the harm that they are doing to the rest of the world. It's becoming clear as day not to trust any organization or people that are associated and working with Meghan and Harry. These two have proven themselves to not only be deceitful and manipulative, but also actually really hurtful to society. So why would anyone want to associate with them unless they are of similar mindset? Again, I have to reiterate that I am not comfortable with the fact that these two are still on the royal website as if they are still a part of the monarchy and serving the king. Because what they are doing over here in exploiting these vulnerable people, we saw this with Harlem, we saw this with Uvalde. Why would Nigeria be any different? I know that there will be someone in the comments who will push back and say, no, Meghan and Harry don't have that much power, or no, they haven't spoken to the family, they don't talk at all. Well, give me some proof, give me some evidence, and explain to me why that website says what it says. Otherwise, I have the right to question and speculate whether or not the crown is forcing their influence here in America when they shouldn't be. A prince of the UK, Harry, has blatantly trampled on American First Amendment rights. And that is something that I will continue to keep screaming from the top of my lungs that these two have been on the side of regulation and censorship. And now that we had the online safety bill being passed, I am deeply concerned with the amount of influence that the UK is going to have in taking down our freedom of speech. We have a foreign state actor here, Prince Harry, on US soil pushing for censorship. Archwell, again, I may remind you, has included itself on a lawsuit in California that is pushing back on a censorship bill that was passed in California. But nobody's talking about that because, of course, they want to keep that on the down low. Please pay attention to what is not being said about these two instead of what is being said about them. We know that they are exploiters, grifters, and just plain evil. And I'll leave it at that. But what do you guys think? Do you think any of this makes sense? Do you think I'm going crazy and being overboard? I mean, I did call out this 2 years ago that these two have been exploiting vulnerable youth, hence the reason why I started Keep NYC Mega Trash Free. Because I don't want this trash, well, the trash is here in New York, and look at what's happening to our society. And I'm going to stop right there because I'm getting highly aggravated that this shit is still going on. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
It was such a fraud.